The death of Charlie Kirk has sent shockwaves through the nation, a tragedy that many are calling not just a loss for one man, but a fatal blow to the very heart of free expression in America. But just how far have we strayed from the values of open debate? And can we ever come back? Comedian Jay Leno, known for his sharp wit and long tenure as a late-night TV host, weighed in with powerful words during a recent radio interview, condemning Kirk's assassination at a Utah Valley University event. For Leno, this wasn't just another violent act. He called it the death of free speech, passionately warning that we've crossed a line into an era where disagreements are settled with violence rather than conversation. It's not random, Leno lamented. It's tragic to imagine that someone felt so incapable of answering back with words that they resorted to a gun as their argument. Isn't that the opposite of what free societies stand for? It's a sentiment that has many nodding in agreement, while others pause to ask, is this truly different from past political violence, or just a new chapter? Leno's reflections drew a sharp contrast with the culture of debate in past generations. Reminiscing, he recalled the lively discussions from his own school days, moments when groups like the Students for a Democratic Society, SDS, would exchange fierce but respectful arguments. He even highlighted the iconic Oxford debate between James Baldwin and William F. Buckley, describing it as enthralling and intellectually electric. If you've never watched such classic debates, you might be surprised by the civility, even when topics were deeply divisive. Kirk's assassination, carried out while he was speaking on campus, marks a turning point, Leno argued. The comedian admitted he didn't always agree with Kirk's ideas, but still valued hearing different perspectives. That's the part most people miss, Leno insisted. You can learn something new, even from someone you oppose. Isn't that the whole point of dialogue? Must we really destroy those we disagree with? What's especially chilling, Leno noted, is that the shooting happened at a university, an institution meant to foster learning and dialogue, not fear and silence. He even referenced the infamous Kent State shootings back in 1970, when student protesters were killed by the National Guard. The implication is clear. History shows us the terrible costs when the right to dissent is met with force instead of debate. Yet, is it fair to draw this parallel? Or is today's environment fundamentally different? Host Tim Conway added his perspective, comparing a good debate to a boxing match, a contest of ideas meant to engage and challenge both participants and the audience. Leno agreed, noting that listening to figures like Kirk could either reinforce your beliefs or challenge you to reconsider. But most importantly, it makes you think. He credited conversations with ideological opponents as a crucial part of his own intellectual growth. That's how you get smarter, he said, by listening to the other side. Leno's bottom line, this shooting symbolizes the end of a cornerstone American value, the right to speak your mind without fearing for your life. Meanwhile, authorities have identified the alleged shooter as Tyler Robinson, 22 of Utah, who was arrested after his own father called the police. Prosecutors have charged him with aggravated murder, an act many see as not just criminal, but an attack on the freedom to voice diverse opinions. In the immediate aftermath, Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, gave a heartfelt live-streamed address. Even in her grief, she insisted that her husband's work, championing faith, patriotism, and moral courage will not fade away. In fact, she proclaimed it will only grow stronger, bolder, louder, and larger. She called on young people to create or join Turning Point USA chapters to keep Kirk's ideals alive. And here's the controversy. Has America reached a crisis point where voicing disagreement is unsafe? Or is this a tragic aberration in a still robust culture of debate? Should we be more worried about censorship or violent retribution for free expression? Now it's over to you. Do you believe Jay Leno is right in calling this the symbolic end of free speech? Or is there hope that today's tragedy will spark a renewal of open civil discourse? Share your thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, or see it another way. Let's keep this conversation alive, before it too falls silent.